No shortage of drama at all. Let's go ahead and take a look at this evening's starting lineup. Has been alluded to. Garrett Alberson from Las Cruces, New Mexico, going to roll from the pole. And on his outside, Oxford, Iowa's Chris Simpson in the 32.
Garrett Smith, he's the 2022 Dirt Track World Champion. He's out of Eatonton, Georgia. And car number 10, Neil Baggett, last year's Mississippi Challenge Series champion. And the 21 XXX, he's out of Columbus, Mississippi.
Spencer Hughes has that JCM Motorsports 19M starting fifth. And on his outside, Ricky Thornton Jr., the 20 RT. He's out of Martinsville, Indiana.
Chad Simpson, he's a four-time Lucas Oil MLRA champion and current points leader. He's out of Mount Vernon, Iowa. And Logan Martin, two-time Comcam Super Dirt Series champion in 36. He's out of West Plains, Missouri.
T-Mac Tim McCready is going to have Rocket 1 rolling from position number 9. And on his outside, the former driver of Rocket 1, Martinsville, Indiana's Hudson O'Neill.
Again, Mike Marlar, and he'll have to go to the back. Three-time winner of the Knoxville Lucas Oil Late Model Nationals. And Devin Moran on the outside. He won the Show Me 100 last year after Ricky Thornton Jr. was penalized a couple of spots.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year contender Brendan Smith going to roll from the inside of row 7, and on his outside, it's going to be the 90. That's Brian Rickman.
Then it's Brendan Smith. He's currently third in the point. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Brendan Smith. Row number 7 is going to be Brenda Smith out of Dade City, Florida. On the outside, Brian Rickman. He's a former Mississippi State Challenge Series champion in car number 90.
Just in case they didn't catch that the first time.
I'm sorry.
I figured you wanted Jackson Ertl. He starts inside row 8, 15th starting position for that young man. And it'll be Scott Kriegler starting from position 16.
It's Jackson Ertl night in America here at Lucas Oil Speedway, right? Row number 9 will be four-time Lucas Oil champion. It'll be Earl Pearson Jr. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. And Ethan Dotson, his first run in the 74X. He's out of Bakersfield, California.
Dalton Wilson and Drake Troutman going to go from row 10. Trevor Gundaker and Gordy Gundaker in row 11. Max Blair and Jonathan Davenport from row 12. James, the caution lights are just about to be put away, and we are just about to get this 45-lap Cowboy Classic underway here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Brandon Ford Pace Truck, the world's largest volume Ford dealer, BrandonFord.com. Be sure to check them out. Again, we'll be at the East Bay finale coming up here in the month of October. $50,000 to win to send it off in grand style. You can get you a new Brandon Ford pickup truck. Again, when you're down there, just down the road in Brandon, Florida, from East Bay Raceway Park.
Well, James, the yellow lights have been turned off. The green flag is going to wave this time by. Money added to the Show Me 100 weekend this year. Boost this to a $10,000 to win race. 45 laps in honor of the Cowboy himself. As these drivers are about to go green flag racing, they'll fire in the Nutrient Ag Solution starting zone in turns 3 and 4. It's Garrett Alberson on the pole, Chris Simpson on the outside. Side by side for the lead down the back straightaway, Garrett Alberson. And look at Neil Baggett. Neil Baggett makes it 3 wide momentarily for the lead, but Chris Simpson will be the driver out front at the end of lap number 1.
Both Chris Simpson and Garrett Alberson have won in the Lucas Oil MLRA Series. They have never won a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race. The driver running in third has. As they go into turn number 3, they are side but 3 wide. Here comes Spencer Hughes on the bottom, the JCM Motorsports 19M. He has never won a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race.
Oh, man. I tell you what, this racetrack is just really, really good, man. It is just spectacular. As Garrett Alberson, he's trying to pull off the trifecta here tonight. He was the All-Star Performance Fast Qualifier. He went out and got the win at Penske Shocks Heat Race number 1, and now he is trying to get his first career win at the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and he rolls alongside Chris Simpson.
He had that string of 3 Big River Steel podium finishes broken at Fairbury a couple of weeks ago. Alberson working the bottom. Chris Simpson in that new Longhorn has the lead. At the line, 4 in the record books. Second is Alberson, third is Spencer Hughes, fourth is Garrett Smith. So down the back straightaway, guys trying to get to the front again. They get valuable points to make their way into the main event here on Saturday night, the Show Me 100.
Well, I tell you what, Garrett Alberson just not going away, and now Chris Simpson going to go low down in turns 1 and 2, and Alberson going to try to get that momentum rolling on the outside of the racetrack. He'll try to keep that momentum down the back straightaway and through turns 3 and 4, but Simpson goes high in turns 3 and 4, spoils a little bit of the momentum on the 58.
They did not touch this racetrack. Once we got started, it was a little slimy to begin with. They worked it in down the back straightaway. 3 distinct grooves here tonight. Chris Simpson, your leader, out of Oxford, Iowa. His brother Chad Simpson won a preliminary in Knoxville, but Chris trying to come home a winner in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series into turn number 1.
And as you mentioned earlier, James, Chris Simpson comes into this event second in the Lucas Oil MLR8 point standings. And I tell you, the line he's running right now, I know we're only a few laps into this race. I was just going to say, the line he's running is going to make it hard for Albertson to get around. And just as we say that, Albertson goes to the low side down in turns 3 and 4. He'll stay low this time in 1 and 2 as Simpson goes up top, and that might give Albertson the lead. It does.
And behind them, they're 2x2 with Chad Simpson and Spencer Hughes. Working off at turn 4, Garrett Albertson. He'll take the lead for the first time in this race as we have 8 laps in the books. Here comes Chad Simpson, the current Lucas Oil MLRA champion. And Chad Simpson's got a good hot rod, but they're trying to track down the Las Cruces, New Mexico veteran off at turn number 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the All-Star Performance time trials a little earlier on this evening, Garrett Albertson was far and away the fastest driver on the racetrack. He is continuing that right now. Meanwhile, there's a look at the drivers in the battle for the 4th spot. Just in front of them, the brothers Simpson going at it in a battle for the bridesmaid honors.
Here comes Ricky Thornton Jr., the new paint scheme this weekend for the current Midwest Sheet Metal points leader in the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. 6 wins this year. Spencer Hughes, the JCM Motorsports 19M in front of him. But Garrett Albertson, Dustin, pulling away out of turn number 4 with 12 in the books.
Yeah, there's a great battle behind him for the 2nd spot, but that is just a fantastic race being put together by Garrett Albertson right now. James, he's quickly closing in on the back of the field, and just as we say that, Chad Simpson able to shake himself free from brother Chris. Chad Simpson now going to try to close in on race leader Garrett Albertson.
Chad Simpson working the bottom in that Johnson Holdings 25. He'll close ground down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, Ricky Thornton Jr. to the top. He's gotten around Hughes, working on Chris Simpson. Garrett Albertson still out in front at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Up at the front of the field, you've got a battle for the lead as Chad Simpson has caught your race leader, Garrett Albertson. Alberson's gone back down to the inside of the racetrack, though, and has taken that line away from Chad Simpson. Just off your screen behind these guys, Ricky Thornton Jr. is starting to tiptoe around the top side of this racetrack as Hudson O'Neill's got problems on the 71. He's going to pull into the pit area and call it a night.
Garrett Albertson into turn 3. Chad Simpson, Chris Simpson, Ricky Thornton Jr., Spencer Hughes. Then it's Devin Moran and Brian Rickman in the 90 car. All those on the same straightaway. Now Chad Simpson goes to the outside, has Albertson work traffic into turn 3.
Yeah, Garrett Albertson right now like a hot knife through butter through the back of the field as he's got the first couple cars 1 lap down, and he's actually been able, James, to put a little bit of distance between himself and Chad Simpson. Chad Simpson now trying to work by the Scott Krigler car, and there's a look at the battle for 3rd between the 32 of Chris Simpson and Ricky Thornton Jr. still trying to tackle the top side of this racetrack in 3 and 4.
So they work lap 17. Albertson, your leader. Then it's Chad Simpson, Chris Simpson, Ricky Thornton Jr., Spencer Hughes, Devin Moran, Brian Rickman down the back straightaway. Then it's Tim McCready in the 1. Garrett Albertson looking good for the clean sweep, as you mentioned. Fastest out of 63 cars tonight. He won his heat race. He started on the Victory Fuel pole, but he did not. If he wins this race, he will not lead every lap. Chris Simpson led early on, but Albertson looking good in this caution-free race so far.
Indeed, he is. He's got lap traffic in front of him. That's the bad news, James. The good news is those cars are all mostly single file in front of him. Now, they're running some different lanes on the racetrack, just as you see Ricky Thornton Jr. running a different lane right there, and Mike Marlar with trouble in the 157.
Pulls out of the race as they come out of turn number 4. It is still Garrett Albertson, that Ken and Beth Roberts entry into turn number 1. Simpson will follow. It's about 1 to 2 car lengths deficit now, make it 3 down the back straightaway. Then a battle back here for 3rd between Chris Simpson and Ricky Thornton Jr. Albertson back through the middle. Chad down to the bottom, and they're side by side behind him with Thornton and Chris Simpson.
Boy, Ricky Thornton Jr. has been so good here at Lucas Oil Speedway over the last few years as well. You and I earlier talked about how good Jonathan Davenport has been here, but Ricky Thornton Jr. has been equally as good, and there's the gap between your race leader, Garrett Albertson, and Chad Simpson, and Simpson has now changed his line, James, as you saw right there. He's gone to the high side of the racetrack, and he is slowly making up ground on your leader.
All right, Simpson is Albertson clean air in front of him. No, he's way stay behind the tail end of the field now for turn number 4. Here comes Chad Simpson pedaling hard, the 20-yard tee. If you're Alberson, do you want this to stay green? Because you know that 20-yard tee up on the board. You don't want to give him a shot here at the end, do you? As he makes his way around Chris Simpson down the back straightaway.
Ethan Dotson with trouble in the ASD Motorsports 74X. He's going to yield to the infield as well as we stay clean and green in this one. James, 23 laps in the books as we are just past the halfway point in this 45-lap race. 23 in, 22 to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. there on your screen continuing to try to march towards the front of the field. Again, second right now is Chad Simpson. Your race leader is Garrett Alberson, looking for his first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
He clears the 1/4 J car. Jackson Ertl. But Chad Simpson's got a good hot rod. Dustin Jarrett, here comes the 4-time MLRA champion. And Chad Simpson will run into one. He'll go back to the bottom. And now Alberson have to deal with traffic here in about another lap or two. The tail end of the field into turn number 3. We're going to have a 2-car battle here. Thornton is about 8 car lengths back at Chad Simpson. Still time left in this race.
Indeed, a lot of those guys right now kind of yielded to the bottom of the racetrack, especially down in 3 and 4. Still some drivers really trying to make some hay on the top side of the speedway down in 1 and 2, but there's the gap again between Garrett Alberson, your race leader, in second place, Chad Simpson, and now Garrett Alberson has once again picked up the back of the field. O'Reilly Rookie of the Year candidate Drake Troutman about to go 1 lap down.
So Garrett Alberson, he's got about a straightaway ahead of Thornton, who's in third. Chad Simpson now. Chad will go to the bottom off of turn 4. Garrett Alberson. Again, he'll have to deal, as you mentioned, with Gordy Gundaker into turn number 1. And in front of him is Brendan Smith and Jonathan Davenport, who had to go to a backup car. Chad Simpson now will have to negotiate around a lap car in turn 3. But Alberson off at turn number 4, still holding the lead here in Wheatland.
Indeed, he is, James. 14 laps to go. 14 laps remaining in the Cowboy Classic as Garrett Alberson now has got, it looks like, Brendan Smith to try to work around. Meanwhile, behind him, you just saw Chad Simpson was able to just clear Drake Troutman. There's Alberson. He's able to work his way by the 17 SS of Brendan Smith. And Alberson, he actually goes high that time down in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Brendan Smith, a new paint scheme on that 17 SS, a new sponsor for him. He is currently third in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. Off at turn 4, Garrett Alberson, who won the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series O'Reilly Rookie of the Year in 2022 with the lead. Still looking for his first win in the series. Well, earlier, back in February, we saw Dalton Wilson get his first win. That class of 2022, can Garrett Alberson come on with a win tonight? He looks strong here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
If he's able to hang on, it would be his biggest win, probably in terms of prestige, James. He does have a $12,000 win to his credit in the Fall Brawl just a few years ago. But Garrett Alberson trying to hold on. That gap is kind of stabilized a little bit, at least for the time being, James. This time by, there are, I believe, just 10 laps to go in this race, as now Chad Simpson's able to clear Brendan Smith, and boy, Garrett Alberson, he has got a whole host of lap traffic in front of him.
Yeah, and Thornton and Chris Simpson and Hughes are hoping for a caution, which we have not had one in this race from the start. Out at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Garrett Alberson, he'll have to work around Earl Pearson Jr. That'll allow Chad Simpson to close as we work on lap off of turn 4.
Yeah, I believe 8 laps to go this time by. I believe 8 to go this time by, James. Yes, I tell you what, the one thing I'm seeing off that from the 58, he's been washing up the racetrack just a little bit coming off the corners. Ricky Thornton Jr. remains in third. Chris Simpson remains in the 4th spot. And now, heavy lap traffic for your race leader, Garrett Alberson.
Garrett Alberson into 1. Chad Simpson will have to get around Earl Pearson Jr. out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. They're running 2 wide. Garrett Smith and the 12 of Krigler. Alberson, what's he going to do? He's going to have to split them off at turn 4, Dustin, as the laps wind down in the Cowboy Classic. And that was a close call for the 58 car.
But I tell you what, when you're looking for your first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, James, sometimes you have got to throw caution to the wind, and that right there might be the winning move for Garrett Alberson. Wow.
Nice job into turn number 1. Former crew chief for Earl Pearson Jr., who's got him around him a lap down the back straightaway. Now with battle for second. Here comes Thornton on the bottom, and Ricky Thornton Jr. and Chad Simpson, the battle for second. And Garrett Alberson leads down the main straightaway as the laps wind down. Is there 2 to go?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But it will be soon. As
It
we're
will
going to
be
double it
soon.
up for you at
Absolutely.
home. There's your race leader, Garrett Alberson, on the left side of your screen. The battle
Whoa.
for second. Oh, Ricky Thornton Jr. and Chad Simpson, they may have just made contact right there, battling for the second spot.
Yeah, good battle there.
Oh, man, that lap traffic is heavy.
Behind Alberson, Thornton, their battle there. Oh, we got to spin in turn 2, and that's Chad Simpson.
Oh,
Chad
baby.
Simpson, and our first Dave Warren Power Sports caution of this race is out for the 4th time, and current MLRA points leader Chad Simpson in a heated battle for second with Thornton and his brother Chris Simpson.
Unofficially, 42 laps in the books, 3 to go. Oh man. That is not, I don't believe that is what your race leader,
No.
Garrett Alberson, wanted to see at all.
Not when the 20 RT is going to be lined up behind you. It'll be a single file restart here with 3 to go, and we'll see what happened to the current MLRA points leader, Chad Simpson. A great battle going on for second. You see Thornton go through there, and Chad just off the cushion.
Yep, over-rotated down there in the corner. And the driver out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, in that Johnson Holding Company, Crone Farms.
He didn't. Albert
25.
Garrett didn't want to see that, did he?
No.
Not when you've got that guy behind you there, the 20 RT, right?
No, and again, I mean, Ricky Thornton's been so good here in the past. He's so good everywhere. You know, we talked about how he just picked up a $15,000 win in an IMCA stock car. He's running the micro sprint some. And oh, by the way, just happened to be the winningest driver in the country 1 year ago, winning over $1 million running in 2023. And now he is going to be hot on the tails of Garrett Alberson, who is seeking his first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
So it'll be Garrett Alberson, Ricky Thornton Jr., Chris Simpson third, 4 Spencer Hughes, 5th Devin Moran, 6th is the 90 of Brian Rickman.
And how about the run for him?
How
and
about
he started
Max
14th,
Blair?
by the way.
Max Blair had to come out of a B main, right?
Yeah, he started 23rd.
He's an early contender for the Todd Steele Building's
Yeah.
hard charger of the race, Max Blair, in the Centerline Motorsports car. Then it's Dalton Wilson, Tim McCready, and Jonathan Davenport, again, who had to start shotgun on the field in a backup car.
Yeah, so several movers and shakers
Yes, sir.
there. So outside of that top 4, Devin Moran has come from 12th up to 5th. Brian Rickman from 14th to 6th. Max Blair from 23rd to 7th. Dalton Wilson from 19th up to 8th. 9th is Tim McCready. That's where he started. And Jonathan Davenport from 24th to 10th in a race that just saw its first caution flag.
So 45 laps is the length of this race, 3 to go. So inside of 5 laps in a race like 45 laps, it'll be a single file restart. We'll try to single them out, and then we'll be ready to go. Garrett Alberson, can he hold on and get his first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series? 90, trying to become the 91st different driver since this series began to go to victory lane. Trying to become the second driver this year to get his first win. Of course, that was Dalton Wilson back at the East Bay Winter Nationals finale back in February. Well, we said it's just a matter of time before drivers like Ross Robinson and Spencer Hughes and Garrett Alberson and Dalton Wilson in that class a couple years ago, which was probably our strongest Rookie of the Year class. And Garrett Alberson, can he come home? The announcement earlier, he and his wife Danny expecting their first child. He said September?
September, yes.
Might be during the Jackson 100, right?
It could be.
Could be.
Who knows? Who knows? Here's what we do know, though. The caution lights are about to be turned off.
Let's do it.
Unofficially, there are 3 laps remaining. When timing and scoring is down. Unofficially, 3 laps remaining. Garrett Alberson trying to hang on and get his first career win with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
At the new Trunax Solutions restart zone. I know it'll be official when Mike Striegel throws the Barron's Performance white flag, 1 lap to go. But we got 1 more lap to do that. Devin Moran's going to work the outside down the back straight, but all his eyes up front. Can Garrett Alberson get his first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series? But Devin Moran may have the fastest car on the track, 2 to go. Down the straightaway, and Alberson Thornton is there, Dustin.
Yeah, Alberson slipped up a little bit coming off corner number 4, and Devin Moran's making hay on the high side. Oh, here comes Ricky Thornton Jr. in a battle for the race lead. He's to the inside of Alberson, coming around to the Barrett's, 1 to go. Ricky Thornton's out front.
Thornton grabs the lead. Alberson, Moran, last chance. Garrett Alberson on the gas, down the back straightaway. Ricky Thornton Jr. doing Ricky Thornton Jr. things. That caution is going to cost Garrett Alberson his first career win in the Lucas Oil Series, and the current points leader gets the win, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Garrett Alberson finishes second. Too close to call at the line for third between Simpson and Moran. We do know Spencer Hughes rounded out the top 5.
Wow, what a finish.
Man, oh man. And the first win for Garrett Alberson will have to wait for another day, as RTJ Ricky Thornton Jr. makes a winning pass with less than 2 laps to go in this one. And he'll make it official when he crosses the UNOH scale and tech area here tonight in the 11th annual Cowboy Classic at Lucas Oil Speedway.